I'm looking at the ceiling, visualizing the time I decided to start working out regularly. It's already been over 8 months, but still, I've seen almost no results. But deep inside, when I'm truly honest with myself, I know exactly why. Today, I had my first workout in over 7 days. So when I'm truly honest with myself, I know to get the results that I want, I need consistency. And I'm confused because I've been trying to stay consistent for so long, but I haven't been able to, no matter what I do. And I'm genuinely feel pain when I realize how much time I've already wasted. If I started working out regularly 8 months ago, I would already have a good physique. So I genuinely feel pain because I'm constantly sacrificing my future self for my current comfort. You need to be able to do the right things regularly for long enough if you want to get the results you want. The story that I just told you was from around for over 1 year ago. Before I truly started taking surfing more seriously, I was just a kid. I wanted to work out regularly. I wanted to meditate regularly. I just discovered some improvement, a really holistic some improvement from Hamza, and I wanted to be consistent, but I just couldn't. And if you're the same situation like me, no, I feel your pain. I know that pain. It's truly painful. It hurts. I know it's painful, but it's part of a journey. My goal with this video is to help you get out of this rut a lot faster than I did. Get out of this rut almost instantly, today or tomorrow or in 2 days. That's my goal with this video, and if I can do that, I would see this as a success. So, the first step is to reduce your ego. The reason why you might not be consistent is probably because trying to do too much. You're trying to fight a level 100 boss when you're level 3 right now. You're trying to do the super hard workouts even though you never tried 15 minutes workouts. You're trying to go on a 10-kilometer run even though you've never ran over 3 kilometers. You're trying to do too much for your current skill. And that's why you're kind of entering totally unknown territories every time you try to do a super hard workout. So I know it's hard, and I wish my younger self accepted this advice when he heard it. Because it would have not totally changed it for him. But do what you can do right now. Don't try to go say do what's hard or what's super hard. Don't go try to do more and more and more. You're a beginner. So start with what you can do right now. Why do you try to constantly do the super hard thing? Even though you know you can stay consistent with it. It's better to do a super short workout that's not that difficult regularly, every day, or 5 times a week. Then they should do one super hard workout and then miss 7 days and then do it again. It doesn't bring you anything, but you need to stay consistent. But to stay consistent, you might need to reduce what you do, like the difficulty of what you're doing. Because the current difficulty is too high for you. So you need to hit your ego and just accept it. Maybe you're not good enough yet to do what I'm trying to do. Maybe I need to do less. Because chances are you really do need to. But you need to reduce your ego, and it's painful because, especially for a beginner, to difficult and painful to accept. I'm not good enough yet, but I will be in the future. That's the mindset you need. Right now, it's like a muscle. You're trying to bench press 100 kilogram, even though you just started lifting. It doesn't make no sense. So you need to hit your ego and just accept, okay, I'm not good enough. So I'm gonna try to do the things that I can do right now. As simple as that. Like I struggle with this so for long, and it's just the time I just start accepting this. That's when I started making progress. That's when I started getting consistent. So truly, don't make the mistake I made for so long. Listen to me when I say this. Your ego might destroy your self improvement journey. You need to take the hit to your ego and reduce it if you truly want to make progress. You need to stop getting being guided, misled by your ego. If you truly want to get insane results on your improvement journey. The second one is make a habit tracker. So recently I haven't been using the habit tracker. I haven't been using it. For the last 2 days I haven't been using it. And instantly, the last 2 days I've been like before this one, extremely inconsistent. It's also because school started again, and if you know me, I really hate school because I already know the business that I want to pursue. I already know what I want to do with my life, but still I have to go to school, and I just see it as a big waste of time for me, especially how it's laid out. I still have to go, and it's made me. When school, you had like summer holidays, so I could really focus on my purpose and everything. But then school started again, and it made me feel last 2 days, one yesterday and today, or yesterday and Sunday, I felt really unhappy. So I think that's also one of the reasons why I wasn't being that productive because my mental health was really down because I knew suicide again. But it's also because the habit tracker. Yesterday night, I made a habit tracker where it looks like this. So the first habit is 4 a.m. So wake up at 4 a.m. Second one, eat a frog. Eat a frog means like work first thing in the morning. The 40 med means 40 minutes of meditation, workout. 20 BW means breath work, 20 minutes of breath work. And the CS is cold showers. That's basically what my habit tracker looks like. My first ever habit tracker was like, I put like meditation, working out, reading, reading, gratitude journaling, normal journaling, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. That's what my first habit tracker looked like. And you can notice this in this one that I'm using now. In some of the habits, I put like the time, the minimum time I need to do to be able to check the box for meditation. I need to do it 40 minutes to be able to check the box. Don't do this when you're a beginner. Trust me, don't do this. I didn't do this when I was a beginner. And in fact, I had the mindset that made the habit tracker so effective is the bare minimum mindset. So I had the mindset that for work, to check the box for working out, I didn't necessarily need to do the 2 hour workout or to do like 200 push ups to be able to check the box for working out. To be able to check the box for working out, I literally allowed myself to check the box for working out after doing 5 push ups. I'm not over exaggerating, I'm not overstating the facts. After doing 5 push ups, I allowed myself to check the box. And that's what made it so effective for me. That's what literally made the habit tracker life changing for me. It was literally life changing. If you want to know, I went from someone that was being very inconsistent the day before, to doing all my good habits every day consistently for 15 days in a row. And just because I started using the habit tracker with the bare minimum mindset, it's already way better to just do the good habits to meditate for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, but you do it every single day, then you just meditate for 20 minutes and then miss 5 days. You need to have this mindset that doing it regularly is better than doing it with insane intensity but just skipping so many days. You have to really embrace this mindset. Consistency is the most important thing. If you can't stay consistent, then you need to reduce. You need to do something about it. And chances are, what you need to do right now is to reduce difficulty, the friction that it takes for you to do the habit. Because if you don't, you'll struggle for a long time. Trust me, you will struggle. So embrace this bare minimum mindset, especially in the beginning. You don't need to keep it for your whole self improvement journey. Like I said, now I don't even use that mindset anymore. For me to check the box for most of the habits here, I need to do a certain amount of them. I don't allow myself to check the box for working out after doing just 5% anymore. But in the beginning, I did because I was a beginner and my discipline was skill was really low. I wasn't consistent. I needed the snowball effect. And to be honest, it was very rare for me to just do 5 push-ups and then stop. Very rare. More often than not, when I did not just 5 push-ups, I started doing more and more and more and more. So for working out, for the first 10 days, I would just did long workouts. I didn't do 5 push-ups and then stop. I did I did 150 push-ups every day. That habit, what helped me to like it be consistent like that is because I knew, okay, to check the box, I just need to do the bare minimum. So it got me to show up every day with the mindset, okay, I can do 5 push-ups and then stop. But then I did 5 push-ups and then I felt like doing more. Then I felt like doing more. Then I felt like doing 30. Then I felt like doing 50. Then I felt like doing 80. It's because I had this bare minimum mindset that got me into it every day, every single day. So make a habit tracker. That looks similar to this one. We just put the days on the side and then the habits on top, basically like this. And then when you do the habit, we do just the bare minimum of the habit. You check the box. Simple as that. And yeah, you really need to reduce your ego in the beginning. You really need to reduce your ego. Embrace the bare minimum at least for the first 5 months of your improvement journey. For the habits to truly be like to get to the level where the habits are basically part of your life. To get to the point where it will be weird for you to not do the good habits. Spend a whole day without doing any of the good habits. Get to that level first and then try to do more. And then try to say, okay, I need to at least do this amount before allowing myself to check the box. But first, get to a level where the habit is basically like a normal part of your life, where like it's weird when you miss that habit. So it's weird for me to miss working out on a certain day. It will happen for some time, but it's weird. It's weird for me to miss meditation on a certain day, to not do meditation on a certain day, because it's part of my life, but it does happen still from time to time. I try to avoid it happening, but it does happen, let me be totally honest. But it's become a big part of my life, a main part of my life, because I embraced this bare minimum mindset in the first 8 months of my self improvement journey. I truly embraced this mindset, and that's what made those habits stick for so long. The third thing is discipline. Do it even when you don't feel like it. The thing that held me back for so long is also that I overestimated the power of motivation. When I saw those people like David Goggins, Cristiano Ronaldo, those people that were known to work super hard when I first discovered the self-improvement space, what I thought is that they were constantly motivated. They had a trick. They had higher levels of motivation than me, than other people. That's the mindset I had. But yet they're more motivated than us. They have more something that makes them more motivated than all of us. So I started obsessing with motivation. How to be more motivated. 7 tricks to be more motivated. That's the thing, like the type of thing I research on YouTube. I never found some good advice. I never started to make any progress. Because the thing is, motivation is, I'm not saying, I'm the one of you where I said motivation is useless. It is not useless. Motivation can be very powerful. But the thing is, motivation is not that guy that's always going to be there. There will be times when motivation is not going to be there. And it will happen very often, especially if you are living outside of your comfort zone. If you're living outside of your comfort zone, very often you won't feel motivated to do the things you need to do. I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. I didn't feel like leaving my bed at all, especially because I know I have school after this. I'm working right now. After I record this video, I'll prepare for school and go to school. I don't feel like doing it at all. I want to stay in bed. I want to watch YouTube. So I did what I needed to do. And now I'm having fun because I truly enjoy this work. But even if you enjoy what you do, you won't always feel like it. Even if it's hard enough, if you make it hard, like in the beginning, like I said, use a bare minimum mindset. But at some point, when you make the things hard enough, and even for you right now, maybe do it. Maybe even using a bare minimum mindset is still difficult for you. But at some point, when you over time, you need to consistently increase the difficulty of the things you do. And if it's hard enough, there will be times, and it's going to happen often, when you don't feel like doing the right thing at all. Like I didn't feel like waking up and recording this video, scripting and then recording this video this morning at all at 4 a.m. when it's still dark. I just felt like going back to bed. But because I think what's really happened is habit tracker. I knew, okay, I need to check the box for 4 a.m. and eat the frog. I don't want to miss it. That's the power of the habit tracker. It keeps you so accountable. And it helps you to develop this mindset of doing the thing regardless of it, if you feel like it or not. Motivation is powerful. I love it when I'm motivated. Of course I do. But the thing is, I'm not always motivated. But something that I can always rely on, something I can always use is my discipline. My motivation might not always be there, but my discipline is always with me. Some days it might be less powerful than others, but it's always there. So just accept right now that even if you don't necessarily feel like doing something, that if it's the right thing, do it anyways. And like, don't have this false mindset that at some point you will always be motivated. At some point in 1 year or few months, that you will always feel like doing the right things. Because if you progressively overload over time, progressively make your life harder to grow, because it's like a muscle. If you want to truly make progress on the ultimate journey, it's like fitness. Over time, you need to progressively make things harder. And if you do that, there will never be a time when discipline won't be required at all. I used to think that at some point I would always feel like when I first started some my social media, I thought that at some point I would always feel like doing the right habits. I would always feel like working out regularly. I would always feel like meditating. I would always feel like doing the right things in general. That's what I used to think. I used to think, oh yeah, if I do this for long enough, I use my discipline for long enough, at some point I won't need to use my discipline anymore because I'll always feel motivated. 1.5 years later, I still need discipline. 1.5 years ago, a year later, I still feel like skipping the good habits. The thing is, now my discipline skill is a lot higher. For me, procrastinating on a certain habit, it takes a lot. It needs to be a lot more difficult than it needs to be 1.5 years ago. And I'm in general, to be honest, my dopamine is higher, so I'm more motivated in general, of course. But still, because my day just gets hard over it, I make my life progressively hard, like the right things, not like I don't add some bullshit tasks into my day, but I make the things I'm already doing longer and harder over time to progressively overload how much progress I make. That's the mindset you should have. For the rest of your life, there will be days where you won't feel like it for the rest of your life until the day you're gone. There are gonna be days, even 50 years from now, there are gonna be days where you won't feel like doing the right things. It will always happen. If you're truly someone that lives outside of his comfort zone, it will always happen. You feel anxious before some hard workout you have to do. You feel like staying in bed when you need to work. There will always be days like that. But if you structure your life in the right way, the habit that you don't always feel like doing are still habits that are fun for you. I didn't feel like working this morning. I feel like staying in bed. But working on this video was enjoyable. Recording this video is enjoyable right now. I don't have like any thoughts in my brain. So it's very fun. But still I didn't feel like doing it. But if you structure your life in the right way and you do like um you do your best, you should do the things that actually put you in a flow state. You should do the kind of exercise that you enjoy. Not just don't just do weightlifting because you hear everyone say, oh yeah, weightlifting is a way to train. If you enjoy like climbing, do that. And don't just follow a business model because everyone says that a business model is powerful. Find a business model, a work, a job that you enjoy and do it. Because when you do that, even regardless, it's still gonna be days where you won't feel like doing those things. But the thing is, it's when you do that, you will always smile at the end of the day with pride. And there will be days when you will be very excited to do those things. If you structure your life correctly, of course. But know for sure, you won't always feel like doing the right things. Trust me with this. You won't always feel like doing the right things. There are gonna be days where you won't feel like doing the right habits at all. But you need to do them regardless of how you feel. The fourth thing is snowball effect. So I quickly mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but imagine this. You miss the good habits for the last 7 days. For the last 7 days, you've been using your phone all day, watching YouTube, scrolling on Instagram, playing video games for the last 7 days all day, eating junk food. Now the eighth day comes, how difficult do you think it's gonna be to actually have a good day, do good habits? It's gonna be very freaking difficult. Very difficult. But imagine this now. Imagine this. Imagine for the last 7 days, you've been always only doing the good habits. You've been working in your business. You've been working out, training really hard. You've been meditating. You haven't done any of the bad habits. You haven't played any video games. And now the 8 day start. The 8 day starts. How hard do you think it's gonna be to actually keep the momentum going? To keep doing the good habits that you've been doing for the last 7 days? Not that difficult. Because you already have the momentum. The snowball is already falling and accumulating, getting bigger. That's the power of the snowball effect. Doing the thing, when you do the thing, and you already have this momentum, you already been working out for the last. Imagine you haven't missed a workout in the last 5 months. Imagine how easy or how little friction there's gonna be when you need to do another workout. Still, you might not feel like it, but it's like it's already like you already see yourself as someone who doesn't miss a workout. I hadn't had it identity into this in my script, but I think I'm gonna talk about it real quickly about the identity. But I'll talk about it, I think, yeah, but after the snowball effect. But you need to know that, yeah, of course, I said it before. Things are not necessarily going to get easier over time. They're not going to get easier, especially if you constantly stay outside of your comfort zone. Things are going to stay difficult. And that's actually the fun part of self-improvement. When you're going to really be, you might be hearing this and be like, oh yeah, but that doesn't sound that fun. But things stay difficult. I want things to get easier. That's the mindset I had in the beginning. I couldn't wait of the time when my self-improvement journey would feel easy. It's never going to feel easy. And that's the fun part about it. I had a point where it felt kind of easy, my self-improvement journey. I had a point where I was working out regularly, I was meditating regularly, and it all felt easy. But you know why it felt so easy? I was staying in my comfort zone. My discipline skill was this high, and now I was doing the wrong thing because now my difficulty level was here. Instead of doing what the mistake that I made in the beginning of having the difficulty level be up here and now my discipline being down here, it was the reverse. So my life was too easy for my current skill. I was comfortable and I wasn't having fun. I had reached a point where it felt pretty easy to go to habits. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying it at all. But now that my life is a lot harder, I meditate for like 40 minutes a day. I work in my business for 2 hours first in the morning before going to school. I work out directly after school. I go for long runs. I do my weightlifting training. It's difficult mentally, physically. It's difficult. It's a difficult task, but I'm loving it. You're gonna get more, especially as a man, but as a human being in general, you're gonna get more enjoyment from life when you're outside of your comfort zone while pursuing your purpose. That's when you're gonna get the most enjoyment from life when you're outside of your comfort zone. You might see counterintuitive, you might think, oh yeah, but how does it make sense? I felt like comfort was making me happy. No. Comfort might give you pleasure, but it's not necessarily the things that make you happy. It's not necessarily the thing that makes you happy. It might give you some quick pleasure right now, of course. Is it the thing that makes you happy? I don't really think so. So yeah, I kind of went, of course, but the snowball effect. If you do the good habits for long enough, if you start doing them for 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row, at some point it will feel like there's less friction because of the momentum that's already been built up. But in the contrary, if you do the bad habits for long enough, we've been doing the bad habits for the last 4 days, it will be more difficult to actually start doing the good habits. So just have this mindset, have this in mind that yeah, you need a certain level momentum actually exists. So when you do the good habits for long enough, there will be a certain level of momentum, but it doesn't necessarily mean that things will get easier. It's just yeah, it like it will it still require discipline, especially if you make it hard enough. But um, it will feel a little bit less frictionless because you just kind of start seeing yourself as someone who does the good habits regularly. So I'm going to quickly talk about identity. Do I have anything special to say here? Yeah, you need to kind of see. Like I don't really, to be honest, I'm not. I've never been someone who truly enjoyed this thing of changing identity, but it's truly powerful. I have done this thing unconsciously, changing my identity. I learned this from first time from Hamza and Atomic Habits, and I have never really tried to change my like identity with intention, but I have done it. But the way I did it is just by doing the things regularly. That's like doing the good habits regularly. I started seeing myself as someone who does the good habits regularly. I now see myself as someone who does the good habits regularly. So it's like literally impossible for me to not like skip my workouts for a whole week. It's literally impossible because I see myself as someone who does workouts regularly, and someone who does the good habits regularly could never miss a whole week of working out if he's healthy, of course. Would never do that. I can miss a workout from time to time when I'm really lazy, and I'm working on that. Doesn't happen often. Doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it kind of frustrates me. But it doesn't happen often because I see myself as someone who just is consistent now. And I don't want to give you like a quick trick you can use right now to instantly see yourself as someone who's consistent. To change your identity, you need to do some you need to prove to yourself at least. You need some proof that you can adopt this new identity. You can't just randomly tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm consistent, even though you've never been consistent in your whole life. It doesn't make sense. You can tell yourself some things, remind yourself some things you've already done. Yeah, that's what you can do. You can sometimes remind yourself, okay, remember that time when you worked out and then you didn't miss a workout for a whole week? Or remember that time when you did this for a whole week or a whole month? Remember that time. Remind yourself sometimes from things you already done in the past. And that's gonna help. So if there was a time when you were consistent, quickly remind yourself of that time. Say say the truth to yourself. Don't lie to yourself with, oh yeah, I'm being super consistent right now, even though you're obviously not. Don't try to lie to yourself with some words. I don't like That's why I don't really like this those things like I don't really like to talk about those things like affirmations because I don't really intentionally use them. But they can help. But it's just don't like tell yourself affirmations that are total lies. I think the way affirmations can maybe help is reminding yourself of something that's actually true. Because your brain doesn't always like remind yourself, oh yeah, I've already built like 10 kilograms of muscle. But you need sometimes do it, yeah, of course. So I think the way you can use affirmations is to remind yourself, okay, of something that you forgot, something that you knew, like your brain doesn't tell yourself often enough. That's basically it. And to change your identity, the way I did it most likely, and firstly, you can remind yourself of things you already done, of things that are actually true, and then be consistent. And the bare minimum mindset really helps you. If you struggle to be consistent right now, using the bare minimum mindset for long enough, it's going to change your identity to a point where you're going to be see yourself as this person who's consistent. So yeah, the sixth part is avoid the bad habits. If you, like I said, I'm going to give you another example. Imagine you wake up, you instantly use your phone first thing in the morning. Do you think you'll feel like then doing a super hard workout afterwards? Not really. Probably not. But imagine you woke up, you then woke up, you got out of bed, made your bed, and the first thing you did, you maybe went to the toilet, and then the first thing you did is work on your business. Do you think you'll feel like doing hard workout afterwards? Probably. Like, want to say, feel like doing it, like be super excited for it, but you would at least feel like doing it more than you would if you woke up and instantly picked up your phone and started using it. That's the difference. And if you even see how dopamine works, it shows why this makes sense. When basically, if you don't know what dopamine is, basically the hormone of craving something, of wanting to the pursuit of something pleasurable, something fun. So basically, if you want to know, in simple terms, if you have low dopamine, you will in general be less happy, And if you have high dopamine, you will in general be more happy. So you might think, oh yeah, to be more happy, I need to do more of the things that give me pleasure. It doesn't necessarily work like that. So I've explained it in many other of my videos. When you pursue a bad, like a fun, something that's really pleasurable right now, most likely a bad habit that gives you instant pleasure, very often it's a bad habit. Your dopamine will go up, especially when it's a bad habit, it will go really high up, especially if like video games, porn, all those very stimulating activities that were like basically made to be very attractive to your dopamine. So it will go up, yeah, it's cool. It will maybe stop here, and then we'll go back down. But imagine here's the baseline. It won't go back down and stop at the baseline. It will go back down below baseline. So the more you do the bad habits, the lower your dopamine goes. But the reverse works also with your good habits. If you don't necessarily feel like doing something, you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. Your dopamine will go down first. Especially if something difficult, the dopamine will go up first. But then it will come back up. But it won't come back up below baseline. It will come back up above baseline. So the more you do the delayed gratification activities, the things that don't necessarily feel that good right now, the higher dopamine will be and the happier you will be in general. So avoid the bad habits in general. You want to be consistent with the good habits. Avoid the bad habits. Some people might not listen to this and just think, oh yeah, no, I just play video games for 1 hour. If you want to do that, I won't stop you. But know that your life you won't be even close to reaching your true potential. And you will have less fun in your life. You might be think to yourself, okay, yeah, no, I will still do a little bit of the bad habits because I need pleasure in my life. I need fun. I need to be happy in my life. Because you think the only way to reach you to be happy is through those external sources of pleasure. But that's not necessarily how it works. And don't you think it would be very sad to rely your happiness, your joy you get from life, to have it, to rely on those external things, your computer, your phone, your PS4, to give you those things? Doesn't it feel a little bit like sad? Don't you find it would be way better if you could like just be happy without never needing some external source to give you that happiness? Especially like an electronic thing that has been created by a random human for the sake of getting you hooked to it. Wouldn't it be just better to just be happy in general, have good mental health, have good friendships with the people you truly love, like your family, your wife, your kids? Isn't it a lot better? When you consistently do the bad habits, the things that are bad for you, that will get your dopamine high and then back down and below baseline. When you do those things for long enough, you will get less enjoyment from the small things in life. You will get less enjoyment from your workouts. You will get less enjoyment from your work. You will get less enjoyment from spending time with your family. You won't enjoy the small things at all. You won't even notice them. So that's basically how it works. Your will in general, you want to do, yeah, I want to still play video games because it's fun. Oh, it might give you some pleasure right now, of course. But it literally makes you enjoy life less in the future. If you truly want to be someone that's really unconfident, that's really has no confidence, do that. You know why I say you won't have any confidence when you do that? Because your future self in 10 years will look back at you and say, why did you do that? Why was he such a dumbass? Why did he play video games for 2 hours every day and make my dopamine all fucked up? Why didn't he just focus on his own journey and work hard to make me really happy? Not even 10 years in 1 year or even 2 months. So be very careful. The seventh thing is do things that are for you. So that you might think, oh yeah, so one of the good habits is weightlifting, bodybuilding, because everyone says so. Or the best business model is social media agency, And you might think, oh yeah, because it's the best business model, I should pursue it now. Oh yeah, because it's so important to build this bodybuilder physique, I should pursue bodybuilding now, even though I might not really enjoy it, and there might be another sport that I would rather do than weightlifting or bodybuilding. In this self-improvement space, I made this mistake too. Told guys exactly what they need to do as if we were all the same. I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, we're all unique. Oh yeah, we're so different from each other. We're very similar. But at the end of the day, we are not the same. And we don't necessarily enjoy the same things as much. Maybe you might be someone that truly enjoys bodybuilding or weightlifting. Maybe you're not. And I've been given this advice of telling you exactly what you need to do with your day. Telling you exactly, oh yeah, you need to do bodybuilding as a sport, even though you might be enjoying climbing more, or judo more, or weight or wrestling more, I don't know. Don't just follow blindly what we'll tell you. What we'll tell you, like what we the influencers, the YouTubers tell you. I will stop to tell you exactly what sport you should pursue anymore. I won't do that anymore. Because I realized that at the end of the day, you shouldn't just do like I still say that you should delay gratification. Do things that will make your future self happy and not necessarily give you pleasure right now. But still, if you do something, if the only reason, if it's the only reason you do something, if there's no other motive, the only reason you do certain habit is because you want to make your future self life better. If you only do something because of the results you might get from it, if you only pursue a business because of the results, if you only pursue certain sport because of the results it might give you, then you're doing something wrong. Still, yeah, delay gratification, do the hard work, delay gratification. But at the same time, you should kind of enjoy it. You should kind of love it. Like I said, I set in discipline to regular record videos to work my business, but I enjoy it. I'm in the flow state right now. I love it. It's not like a super magical thing. It's not like I'm super happy right now. I know I have school after this. I'm feeling depressed because I know I have school after this. But when I'm recording videos, I enjoy it. It's something I do for my future self. Yeah, I do because I want to help people. Yeah, but at the same time, I also kind of enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's not always super fun. Of course, there's some when it's really difficult. Of course, there's some when I know I have to record a super long video and I'm like, oh fuck. But still, I love it. I've been running a lot recently. And yeah, I want to get results from running to get a faster and improve my cardiovascular endurance. But still, at the same time, I still love running. That's why I've implemented it into my routine because I love it. It's fun. Weightlifting, I still do weightlifting because I noticed that I also love doing weightlifting. I enjoy it. I do want the results, get stronger, get a better physique, but I also love it at the same time. And don't mistake it, even if you love something, it doesn't mean you will always feel like it, that you won't never feel like procrastinating. Like I said, I love my work, but this morning I felt like staying in bed. I didn't feel like waking up and just start working. So loving something doesn't mean it won't require discipline. Don't make this mistake. It will still require discipline to do it, especially if you still stay outside of comfort zone, which you should actually do, stay outside of comfort zone. But even if you love it, know that you will still need discipline. Maybe not as much as if you did, yeah, probably not as much as if you did something that you hated. So I could maybe do a social media marketing agency. I could start doing it. I don't really know how the business work, but I would probably not enjoy it as much as I do YouTube, as I do cheating people some things about teaching some things that I am kind of becoming an expert in. That's what I enjoy doing. I do it for results, of course, but I also do it because I just love doing it. Having the results being the only factor that drives you might be one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Because, of course, delaying gratification is very important. It's like basically, delaying gratification is like basically the whole point of self improvement, like the main point of self improvement. But still, why constantly do things you hate for your future self? It doesn't bring anything at that point, because even your future self is going to keep having to do the things he hates for his future self. But if you delay gratification, but you still do things you love at the same time, of course, there's going to be some you won't feel like it, but you still love the things you do. You still love your day to day life. You'll get the results. Your future self will be happier, will look back at you with pride and happiness. But at the same time, you will also enjoy the process of making your future self life better. Where it won't necessarily be always be about your future self. It will be, yeah, I want to help my future self, but I actually love my life. When you could truly embrace this mindset, that's when self improvement truly becomes very fun. Find the task that find the things that put you kind of in a flow state. So in a flow state is basically a state where you have almost like zero thoughts in your brain, like zero thoughts in your brain basically. So for me, when I record, I have zero thoughts in my brain. Like during the session, I've had like maybe like there were times when I quickly got a random thought, but in general, my brain is basically blank for the most part. So find tasks that put you in such a state. Everyone has different tasks. It's not necessarily teaching like it is for me. For me, it's not. It's like teaching through my mouth, like not writing. Teaching like speaking, and teaching to my voice something about self improvement, for example. That's something I truly enjoy doing, and that puts me in a flow state. Find tasks like that and fill up your day with that. I'm also in the flow state a lot of time when I'm running. Not when I'm running, so as much as when I record. I will get some thoughts from time to time, but for a big part of a run, I will just be totally in the present, have zero thought, and when I have a thought, it's about my current running session. So the flow is when you literally totally immerse in the task at hand. And it's not like a super magical thing where you feel super happy, where the whole world feels like colorful. No, it's just an experience where you truly immerse in the task. You don't have any zero thoughts, and when you get thoughts, it's about the current task at hand. But for the most part, you have like zero thoughts in your brain. That's a flow state task. And just try to find those tasks. What are those tasks for you? And try to fill up your day with those tasks. That's I think that's the best way to pursue self improvement. Not just randomly do things because Andrew Tate told you to do them. I started like I have a quick story. A few months ago, like 5 months ago, I started playing chess and spending hours playing chess just because I heard Andrew Tate talk about it in the podcast. And when I look back, I just cringed at it. I wasn't even enjoying it. The results weren't even that important. And like, what were the benefits of doing it? I had no real benefit. I was just doing it. So be very careful. Often ask yourself, why am I doing the thing I'm doing? The eighth thing is think of your future self where you feel like skipping the good habits, when you feel like procrastinating, when you feel like staying in bed, like playing, doing the bad habits. Think of your future self. This morning, like I said, I didn't feel like leaving my bed. I didn't feel like recording videos. I don't feel like working first thing in the morning. What helped me was Habit Tracker, but I also had a quick vis- visualization. That word is different. Damn. But yeah, I had a quick oh God, visualization. I visualized my future self not having to go to school anymore, being truly free because he's earning an income. So basically, I need to stay in school because my family is currently on a kind of a government welfare, but here in Germany. And when you like so we get some money from the government because we don't earn that much. So and when you on this program, the kids need to stay in school. Absolutely, they don't have a choice. So I'm working hard because I want to get my family out of this, so that I first don't have to school anymore, right? So that I can also retire my mom. Like when I visualize those few things, I always have such a giant smile on my face, and it's a great motivator. So think of the biggest, most wholesome end goal. You can have two, like one that's for you, and the second one that's for others. That's truly like I think you shouldn't just think of yourself as this selfish person that just thinks of what he wants. Think of the way you want to help the people that you love. So for me, the biggest thing I want to change in my future life is not have to go to school anymore. Drop out of school, have true freedom, so that the money is not all like so that money is not my focus for my whole life. So that I don't have to pursue a job that I don't like for my whole life, work for 8 hours a day for my whole life, even though my purpose might change. Why not? My purpose is, yeah, working my business, working really, really hard on my business. But maybe 1 year, 2 years from now, maybe then my purpose might be running marathons. I don't know. And at that point, when the time comes, I want to be able to like minimize how much I work. I will never stop working because I enjoy this business. Even if I make enough money to like retire myself at the point where I don't need to make any more money. I will never truly stop working. But maybe sometimes my purpose will change, and at that point, I will start working less, a lot less, to be able to truly focus on my purpose. And I want to be able to do that. And currently, the biggest pain in my life is that I have to go to school, even though I don't see any benefits to it, even though I don't enjoy it at all. And it's very painful. So I think to myself, when I don't feel like doing the high habits, I just visualize myself. Visualize a life where I don't need to go to school anymore, a life where I dropped out, a life where I'm free. And to do that, I literally just need to earn like 2,000 bucks, 1,000, 2,000 bucks a month. That's gonna be difficult because I don't earn any right now. But I know I can do it if I work hard enough for a long time. But for that, I need consistency. To achieve a goal, I need consistency. I can't achieve a goal without being consistent. I also really want to retire my mom. So think of the two goals, one that's selfish and one that's selfless. Find those two goals for you. And every time you don't feel like doing it, visualize it. And it's very good when those two goals are related to current pain. Like current pain that's very something that's very painful right now. So for me, it's very painful for me to have to wake up and not being able to totally like only work my business because I know I have to go to school, even though I hate it. It's very, very, very painful for me. But it's also very painful when I see my mom come back from work, even though she doesn't enjoy it, and I see her face tired, a little bit depressed. It's very painful, those two things for me. I try to first think of the negative thing that's currently in your life that you hate, like that you hate so much, and then visualize that thing not being in your life anymore. So for me, not having to go to school anymore, being having dropped out, and the second thing, having my mom just be able to stay at home, focus on her health or her current um have on the new priorities because she's been focusing on making money for her kids for her literally her whole life. I want to give her the gift of being able to live her own life, being able to pursue things other than money, which materialistic stuff. She's been really like looking forward, like she's been really interested in sports recently. I want to give her the gift to just work out when she wants to because she doesn't have to work. And doesn't have to come back from work super tired to the point where working out is very difficult. Would you give her the gift to the that she doesn't have? She has so much free time that she can just focus on working out on maybe her health if she truly wants to. I want to give her this freedom. So every time I don't necessarily feel like doing the good habits, I will visualize those two things. Me dropping out from school, me be having the freedom of just working, focusing on self-improvement journey all day, focusing on purpose all day, and my mom being retired. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. If you got value from this video, if it truly helped you, I would love it if you could share it to others. It will help me and help the person share it too. And just share positive word of mouth. Like if you hear someone that's struggling with this problem, it would help me a lot and help them a lot. If we could just say, oh yeah, you saw Eric's full consistency guide, go watch it. It will be like very helpful. Help me and the other person. If you're interested in my full discipline package, you click the link in the description so we can see if you're good fit for it. Don't run away from discomfort. Chase it.